Hello, welcome back to another video and another episode in my series of making my house a home. Today we're focusing on our downstairs toilet and I'm going to make it all things girly. We are at the shops today having a little mooch around, doing some browsing, and I had the best time. This was the range. They had so many gorgeous things in, ready for spring, and I feel like it just made my heart happy, and it was really hard not to just come away with everything. But I did pick up some gorgeous pieces and I just wanted to show you some of the things that were available as well, because they were just so beautiful and I feel like a really good price too. One thing I knew I wanted was some artificial flowers, and they have like a little gorgeous florist section in the range. If any of you have ever been, you'll know, but if not, then definitely get yourselves there. The flowers are so realistic and beautiful, and actually a really affordable price compared to some I've seen online. So yeah, I had a little walk around the range, got what I needed to get, had a little look for other things because we're not just doing our downstairs toilet, we're doing the entire house, so I was looking for other things as well. Then nipped over to B&Q because I needed to get some paint. Me being me, I forgot the name of the sample and forgot to write it on, so I had to do a bit of just checking against all the other samples. In the end, I found it. It's Blush Pink by Dulux, and it's the most gorgeous, subtle pink. I just need this space to be light and bright and beautiful. So I can't wait to jump into today's video. I hope that it inspires you if you've got a little space that you need to refresh in your home as well. I had the best time browsing, having a little look around the shops. It felt like the kind of self-care that I just needed today, a little bit of me time, and I can't wait to show you all the things I've got and get cracking with decorating today. It's going to be so nice. I'm definitely going to build up a sweat, so I've partnered with Wild in today's video. Wild is a deodorant that contains natural ingredients, no harsh chemicals, aluminium or parabens. It's really gentle on the skin, containing nourishing ingredients like shea butter and coconut oil for extra moisture, making it really good for all skin types, and it smells incredible. I am literally obsessed with every single scent that they bring out. I've been using Wild for a long time now on a mission to simplify my life and be more conscious about what I put into and onto my body, and if that's not the biggest form of self-care and self-love, then I do not know what is. It keeps me and my clothes smelling so fresh and amazing all day long, offering 24-hour protection, and the refills are made from compostable bamboo, meaning that every single refill saves 30 grams of plastic. And can we just take a second to appreciate the heart case and the Love Potion collection? They are so beautiful. I feel like they fit my aesthetic perfectly. The new limited edition scent Love Potion is the perfect match for the heart case, and it's got scent notes of strawberry, red fruits and champagne, and it smells so lovely. It's a really beautiful time of year to celebrate love. I've been focusing a lot lately on self-love and putting time and energy into my home, because my home is an extension of myself, and I feel like when we put time and energy into ourselves and we show ourselves that bit of self-love, it really radiates into everyone around us, and I feel like it gives us a massive boost of confidence. And for me, having Wild as a part of my daily routine is huge and really helps me feel confident and just like I'm looking after myself. And for me, the heart case is just a beautiful visual reminder every day to look after myself more, as well as looking after others. So shipping is available worldwide, and Wild offer a flexible subscription service, so you can have refills delivered straight through your letterbox, and you've got over 16 scents to choose from. You can get 20% off with my code LOVEK for a limited time only. So if you want to show yourself or someone else some love, I'll leave a QR code on the screen and a link in my description box down below. But I'm definitely going to be building up a sweat today, so I'm glad that I'm covered with Wild. I cannot wait to show you my little haul that I got from the shop, so I'll share that with you all now, and then we will crack on with decorating. So before we get started with decorating, I thought I would share a tiny little haul of what I picked up from the shops. It is so cute. So I got this gorgeous, look at that, this little love heart to put, I think maybe on the inside of the outside, sorry, of the toilet door. It's just so pretty, and it was exactly what I was looking for. That was from the range. This was from Dunelm, and this is actually for our upstairs bathroom, and it is stunning. It's so beautiful, like a little lotus flower to put a little tea light candle in. How beautiful is that? It gives definite spa vibes, that does. The other thing I picked up from Dunelm was this gorgeous light fitting, oh my goodness, don't break it, Kay. How pretty is that? This is for our utility room because oh my goodness, we've actually got spotlights in our downstairs toilet, but I just thought it looked really pretty, so much detail, and I definitely need to get my father-in-law to help install this because look how long that wire is. Then I got these gorgeous flowers. I feel like we need to take a minute for these flowers because they are stunning. For false flowers or artificial flowers, they look super realistic in my opinion, and they remind me actually of my wedding flowers. So I've got a vase that I'll show you in a second that I got ages ago from Tesco, and I need to paint it white, but I think these will look gorgeous in there, and I'm just hoping it's not too overpowering with what I've got planned for our downstairs toilet. So at the range you can get these bunches of artificial flowers, and look how pretty they come. So they come in this little, I just think that's gorgeous. So this is the bunch that I picked, just with a tiny little pop of pink, and then I wanted like a muted green and some creams and some whites, and I just think they're so pretty. So that's that one. And then I also picked up a few random ones. So I got two little hydrangea little bunches, and then this gorgeous one of eucalyptus. And I'm hoping that I can make a really nice arrangement with all of these once I've got a big enough vase. But how beautiful are they? The next thing you'll have seen from the background, but it's this clock, which is actually going to go on this wall. And I know I was supposed to be shopping for the bathroom transformation, but I feel like it's only natural to find things for your next renovation project, which is the kitchen, which I am very excited to do. So yeah, I think we've got an entire vision for this room, but we'll do that in another video. But for now, this little guy, just know he's in my life and hopefully going to get put on the wall very, very soon. I will show you the downstairs toilet in a second. I realise I've not actually shown you the space we're going to be revamping yet, but this is the wallpaper that I'm thinking of going for. It's called Ruskin and it's from Dunelm, and I really liked that it was not grey, but it's sort of like a brownish grey, and it's really pretty, and I'm hoping it helps to bring out the warmth in the grey tiles we've got in there. So yeah, really like that, and I'm going to try my hand at wallpapering for the first time, so we'll see how this goes. And then these are the two colour samples that I went with, and I feel like they both match perfectly. This is Afternoon Nap by Valspar. This is actually the colour that we've got in our kitchen for any of you who were asking. I always thought it was overtly olive like our old house, but we found the paint in the shed, and actually the person who lived here before painted it in this colour, and it's a really pretty green, so I'll show you. This is it on the wall, so if you've ever watched my videos and you've seen our kitchen, that is what that colour is, and isn't it beautiful? It's like a muted sage green, and I just feel like it works really well with greys. Then this is Blush Pink by Dulux. I was torn between this and Calamine, I think it's called, by Farrow & Ball, but in the end I feel like this was just that little bit lighter, and I feel like it's a really small space with artificial light, so hopefully it's going to do the job. So I'll show you them in the downstairs toilet now, and then we need to get started, don't we? I'm filming this on my phone because it's a really small space, so hopefully it helps you to see what we're working with. But we got busy last night. We were taking off all of the extras that we didn't need. There was lots of nails in the wall everywhere, massive ones with massive roll plugs that just took away most of the wall. So we spent some time yesterday filling all of those. We took the toilet roll holder off that was here because we've hated it since the moment we moved in. So I've got a new one on the way that'll hopefully be here tomorrow, so we can install that one. I do need to move all of this DIY stuff out of here as well. But yeah, this is the space we're working with. I feel like this floor works really well with the tiles, but the blue is too cold and I feel like it's making the whole thing clash. So I'm really hoping I can bring some warmth back to this space and make it feel like a really cosy little toilet, which it is. It's lovely. It's a lovely little space to have. And very small, so hopefully it gives you some ideas. I know it's going to be quite girly, but I'm hoping that it looks pretty in that. So this is the colour with the tile, and I feel like it looks different in every light. And I feel like the blue is doing that colour theory thing where it changes what it looks like. But I feel like it works really well with that. And then I will show you with the wallpaper. So you're going to have to use your imagination here because I do not have enough hands. But this wallpaper is going to go on this back wall here. And then the pink is going to go on either side. And I just think it's going to look so nice. And then my big bouquet of flowers or vase of flowers is going to go up the middle here. We've also got a mirror that's already got its mounting points to go here, And then I need something to put here because I feel like it's going to be a big open space. But let's get this all cleared out so we can see where we're starting, and then let's get cracking, shall we? I've got some sanding to do, I think this is going to take some covering, so we'll see. And I do also need to do the skirting, and the door has gone really yellow and I feel like it's going to show up really bad when there's a really beautiful colour. But I'm so excited to get this room revamped. It's such a small little space, but I feel like it makes a big difference. We also had a hook on here. The person who lived here before loved a sticky on hook, and he used like industrial strength ones, so I managed to get that off yesterday, but I still need to get this bit off. It's still quite tacky before I can paint that. But hopefully this is going to be a big transformation, and I hope that you're all excited to see the end outcome. So I think one of the hardest things when you're decorating is actually picking up that paintbrush and starting decorating in the first place. But I just popped on an audiobook. I'm actually listening to The Fourth Wing at the minute. One of my friends has twisted my arm to get me to read it because she really wanted someone to chat to about it. She's read all the books, so yeah, I am actually really enjoying it. It's really nice to just have an audiobook. I feel like when you're doing projects like this, or listening to a podcast is what I usually do, but I've been getting really into reading lately and I've been really enjoying it. I got myself a little Kindle and it's just been how I've been spending my evenings, and I just really love it. And I feel like for long car journeys or big projects like this, actually listening to a story just makes time go so fast, and it helps me to concentrate, weirdly enough. So I was doing all the sanding. There was some like paint dribbles from either the builder or the person before, we're not entirely sure. So I was just sanding these off to make sure that I had a really nice flat wall. This wall that I'm sanding right now is the wall that I'm going to be wallpapering. So even though it doesn't seem like it would be important, apparently it is important to have a really nice flat wall. So just giving it a bit of a sand is really helpful. And I was really pleased with how these all came up. You could barely even see any of them after it was all done, so really glad I took the time to do this. Well, I also got Dom's help to do this, so we'll give him a little bit of credit as well, shall we? But yeah, just hoovering up all the dust. I couldn't believe how much dust that just made. It was just everywhere. It coated every single surface. It was gross. It's the law to have a cuppa and a biscuit break when you are decorating, and it was very much needed. This digestive just gave me that little pickup I needed to carry on with my decorating. So I had a little break, and then I got on with taping everything up. So I really love frog tape. I didn't used to use tape, but actually I can see a massive difference in the finish of my decorating when I do use it. So I try my hardest to use it now, and even though it takes a little bit longer, I honestly think you save so much time by doing this because you're not having to go over and do any corrections after. So long as you tape well and you take it off while the paint is wet, that is the secret. So like I say, blush pink is what I'm using today, and I was quite happy with the coverage the first time because this colour that it was covering was quite dark, but it actually did quite well. I didn't need to be too careful on the wall that I was wallpapering because you're not going to be seeing that wall anyway, so that was quite nice because I got all the way to the edges without having to tape it, which was brilliant. And I love watching time lapses of people decorating. There is nothing more satisfying, it's just the best. Decorating is hard work, especially for me. I'm finding now as I'm getting older, I just don't have the stamina for it anymore. There is an old version of Kay who would just have cracked on with this. I'd have put Charlie down to bed and I'd have got on with it through, into the evening, probably until like 12 o'clock at night. That is not who I am anymore. This project took days, and you know what? I think that that's fine, and it's good to normalise that because you can't always do it all in a day, and I certainly can't anymore, so I just have to use my energy wisely these days. But how satisfying is it when you take off the tape? this is the outcome of the paint. This is the next day. I'm really happy with it. I'm hoping when the wallpaper's on it tones it down a little bit because it's very pink at the moment, which isn't a bad thing because that's what I was aiming for. But yeah, it has shown up how yellow this is, so I'm going to need to do that as well. I've got like an hour to myself now. Dom's took Charlie out for a walk, so I'm going to try and get some wallpapering done, and I'll have to do the rest in his nap. It's just going to be 2 pieces, so hopefully it shouldn't be too stressful, but I am not the best at maths, so we'll see how it goes if I need to do any measuring and things like that. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've had some guidance from family, so fingers crossed it goes okay. My mum called me last night and she was like, I'm going to talk you through how to wallpaper, and then she ended the call and I was thinking, clear as mud. But I do think it helped. I think it made a lot of sense what she said. I just hope that when I'm doing what I need to do, it starts to come clear to me. We will see. But what I've gathered from what everyone's told me is that the line that the wallpaper follows just needs to be straight, and you can't trust the lines of the walls, and I know for sure some of these lines aren't completely straight, so yeah, that's the first thing, is just measuring the wall well, which is like the thing that's going to hurt my brain the most, I think, but we'll see. I'm excited to see it done, so I need to put my hair up, get my painting and decorating clothes on and get to it. I've debated back and forth whether I was going to do 1 piece in the middle and then 2 little slithers each side, or just do from one end, and it's going to be like 2-ish pieces of wallpaper. I think I'm going to do that because I'd rather do that and try and just get 1 seam right than try to get 2 seams right. So that's what we're going to do, and hopefully you can't tell and you can't see, but I only need 2 pieces and I've got an entire roll of wallpaper, so even if it doesn't go to plan the first or second time, I should still have enough to play with. So it says to do 50 centimetres from the edge of the wall, so I'm going to measure that, do my straight line, and then we'll see. So I've got a tape measure, spirit level, and then I think it's called a plumb bob that I've borrowed from my in-laws, which helps you to draw the straight line, or like make sure your line is straight, because this isn't the longest spirit level in the world, so it's not going to be very accurate. So let's get this over and done with, because I think this is going to be like the worst part for sure. So I started out by marking off 50 centimetres all the way up the wall, and I was correct in what I was thinking. This wall was way off. The left side was so wobbly, so the 50 centimetre marks were just all over the place on the wall, which just hurt my brain for a little minute, but I was glad that I took the time to do this. I then used the plumb bob, I'm really hoping that's what this is called, but I stuck it to the ceiling and I dropped it down, which really helped me to see which line to follow, so that I made sure that I had enough wallpaper. The wallpaper was about 51 centimetres wide, I think, maybe about 51.5, so I had a little bit to play with, and just tried to make sure that it was as accurate as I could possibly manage. I then used a spirit level to create a straight line and just checked with the plumb bob that that line was straight, and it was bang on. Next, I measured the space that I was going to be hanging the wallpaper on, just to make sure I knew how long I needed to cut the paper, which meant it was a lot easier than having, you know, like loads and loads and loads of excess. So I figured out where I wanted the top to be, then I measured and I cut the length that I needed, just giving myself quite a bit of extra, if I'm honest, because I know what I'm like and I just need room for error, because sometimes I do things before thinking, and yeah, even though I'm concentrating so hard, it can be so quick to just make a mistake and then just think, oh no. And I really did not want to have to do this more than once. I was in a bit of a time crunch, so I really wanted to get this 1 piece of wallpaper on at least before they came back from the walk, just so that I could make sure I got this project done today. So I put the paste on, being very generous, and then I did what they call booking it. I think that's what the technical term is. You just kind of put it all together and let it just sit for 5 minutes, just to let the wallpaper soak, but obviously all wallpaper is different, so definitely check your manufacturer guidelines, but that's what I did and it worked really well. Then comes the hard part of putting this on the wall. Definitely threw a few curse words in there whilst I was doing this, because it was very frustrating, and I'm trying to make it look easy here just so you're not as frustrated as me, but it was a very particular kind of process. There was a lot of shimmying, there was a lot of taking it off and putting it back on again and checking and checking again, but I did manage to get my line straight. So the line you're going to be trying to get straight is the other end, so the end that's not on the wall. if that makes sense, because if that line's straight, everything else looks straight, even if your walls are wonky, apparently. I'm using this little brush to bash all the wallpaper down, get all the bubbles out, and then cut in with scissors. I tried to do it with a Stanley knife and it just made a mess of the edge, which I was really annoyed about, so I gave up with that and went back to scissors. And it's so satisfying watching me do this now, but in the moment I don't think I was breathing. I was just so stressed trying to do this. I feel like maybe if I did this again it would be much more satisfying, but at that time I was just thinking, please don't do it wrong, Kate, please don't do it wrong. I really don't want to have to do this all over again. And you know what, I didn't. I did it well and I did it right the first time, which I am so very happy about. I think the good thing was the wallpaper that I used was really good quality, but actually affordable, and I think that's made it much easier to do. It should be like called the wallpaper diaries or something, but I've got one piece on. I was having issues with the Stanley knife. I think it would have gone a lot smoother with a Stanley knife, but I couldn't figure out how to get the new blade to come out, even though literally we showed yesterday, but I'm just too scared to do it. So I've just done it with scissors and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm dreading this next piece, but we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty happy with the pattern though. I feel like I got the pattern where I wanted it to be. It's stressful. I've only got 2 pieces to do as well. Imagine if I was doing like an entire wall or a whole room or something. I think I would just like probably just have a heart attack. Yeah, I just hope that this next piece is enough and there's not just going to be a silly little bit of a line, but we'll see. We'll see. On to the next piece. So just doing the same again, following exactly what it said to do on the wallpaper instructions, and then I'm sticking it up at the top and trying to get my pattern to match up as best as I can, which was a lot harder than I thought. The thing I had the biggest trouble with was the excess paper on the sides, because it just kept trying to fall on me. I feel like maybe a 2-person job this part might just be, but I did the best that I could and it turned out okay in the end. But yeah, just lots and lots of faffing and pulling it off, putting it back on again, but we got there in the end. So I'm gonna stop talking and let you enjoy this time lapse of me faffing around with my wallpaper until I got it on the wall. Next up, I'm taping off the skirting boards so that I can give them a good old paint. This paint had gone so yellow and I feel like with everything else looking fresh, it just really needed to be done. I only did the inside of the door because I thought we'll do the rest another day, you know, the outside when we're decorating our hallway, but it did such a good job and I really love this paint that I use. I'll leave it linked down below, but it's fantastic. It's in an eggshell finish and it's just really beautiful and it covers really well as well. And I found this part really satisfying after the stress of trying to get the wallpaper on the wall, but I managed to do this in his nap, so I was just so pleased to have got as much done as I possibly could on this day so that I didn't have to do it into the evening. In an ideal world, it's probably best to take off all the bits and maybe take the door off altogether, but I have not got time for that, so we are taping and it turned out really well. I feel like if you just take your time to tape, then, you know, it definitely makes up for it later. But you can see how yellow that door is with me painting over it, and it was so good to see the back of that high gloss, shiny cream door. This is the vase that I was going to paint, and I do have the paint to paint it. I think I will still paint it, but when I put this vase with the flowers into the downstairs toilet, it just looked too big, too overpowering for the space. So I've nipped to Tesco this morning. I love Tesco's home decor and also their clothes. I feel like you cannot go wrong. And I picked up this gorgeous vase. How pretty is that? It's so nice with the little scalloped edge, so beautiful. So this is actually the perfect size. So I'm going to arrange my little bouquet of flowers into here, and I think it's going to look spot on. I'm really excited to do this. goodness, look at that. I am so pleased with how this has turned out. Really happy. It feels super girly, super beautiful, and I'm hoping that the colour comes across on camera, but I was a bit nervous about this pink colour when it was by itself. It looks like I could do with a touch up there. I don't know what's happened there. I think it's maybe come through from before, so I'm going to put a little bit more paint on there. That's fine. I think that's the only thing that's wrong, and I didn't even notice that until just now. It's taken 3 coats of paint. I can definitely tell the difference between Dulux and Faux and Ball. Like Faux and Ball would have been 2 coats and done, but I feel like this has taken a little bit more covering, even on the wall that was already white. But yeah, really pleased with the wallpaper. I think that the flowers I've ended up with have turned out beautiful. I was debating with a different vase that I had with some flowers already in it, but I really wanted the little tiny pops of pink and the creams and the whites to just tie everything in. So I've gone with like a girly shabby chic kind of theme, and I really want this but in the towel holder version, which is a big circle, but they've only got it in gold at the moment. So I am going to keep my eye out because this is the most beautiful toilet roll holder I ever did see. It's gorgeous and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I think if I can get one, then I want that for probably over here and just mount it so that the towel isn't on the radiator, because it just falls off and I don't know, it's just not the best for when people come to visit. I've got a new toilet brush down there, which is just so boring, I know, but I just thought it was really cute with the little love heart on and really fit nicely with the theme. You'll have seen this from my old house, but I just think it really just adds a nice little touch here into this bathroom. We'll see if I keep it there or not, I'm not entirely sure, but I do quite like it. And then I got this beautiful mirror, which I can't remember where it was from, but I will link everything that I can down below. But I just went for a really classic oval mirror, and I just think it looks really pretty and just simple. And I was going to put something here, but I actually think that the flowers just take away, you know, they take away from the fact that this and this wall are bare, in my opinion. And then I've just got a nice little diffuser in here as well. So yeah, really pleased with it. I'll come in and close the door so you can maybe see the difference in the light, but I don't think my camera is going to show it up very well. But I painted all of the door white again, which has made a massive difference, and also the skirting boards too. It's very shadowy in here because we've got spotlights up above, just 2 up there. But yeah, really happy with it. And I just want to say, if you are thinking of wallpapering, don't be put off. Give it a go. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's not professional by any means, not perfect, but it turned out fine and exactly how I wanted it. I want to say it because I feel like once I do, you're going to never stop noticing it, but it really bugs me that the toilet and the flusher are offset to the tiles. I mean, how simple is that to do, right? And it's just like, oh, that just bugs me so much. Anyway, I've centralised, is that the right word? I've made the flowers centre to the tiles because that makes sense, but I know that the rest of it kind of is off, and I don't know if it's to do with the spacing for the sink there, I'm not really sure, but anyway, whatever. It's one of those things you just have to deal with, I suppose. But I really think that doing the pink and this gorgeous like browny grey colour wallpaper has really helped to tie in these grey tiles, and they feel a lot more my style now and not quite as modern and cold, which is what I was aiming for. I just wanted a nice warm lovely room. That is the end of this video. I really hope you've enjoyed coming along as I transformed another one of the rooms in our house. I have a feeling that the next room I'm going to do is maybe the kitchen. I've got someone coming out to quote us for putting some tiles in there in a few days, so hopefully if that quote comes back okay and we think we can go ahead with it, then we will crack on with the kitchen next. It's the place that I spend so much time, and I just feel like that one might be just like a really fun transformation, just some simple things that might make a big difference. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed coming along for today's video and just seeing how I decorate my home and maybe giving you some ideas and inspiration. I've also got the bathroom to do upstairs, which I'm thinking of doing green. I feel like my whole house is going to be pink and green at this point, but I mean, if you love a colour, then just gotta go with it, right? I know so many of you said the same thing, that you've just got a colour that you love and your whole house ends up that colour, and I don't think there's any shame in that at all. But that is going to be it from me today. Don't forget to check out Wild. You can get 20% off with my code LOVEK at checkout, so I'll leave their links down below. Definitely go ahead and check them out. I smell so fresh and clean, and I've been just decorating all week long. It's been a long haul, but it's been so worth it when I go in there and I just think, oh, this is so nice. And I love for people to come to my house and to just feel really calm and just like they're at home. It just makes me so happy to feel like I've put the extra effort in to make them feel comfortable. So that's what my aim with today's video was. Anyway, enough blabbing from me. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll leave links down below to any other videos that you might want to see from me, but I hope you all have a wonderful week wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye.